I know. Hopefully, this will be a little bit different, but I mean, just thinking about the division, it's pretty much going to be the same. They all mediocre teams. I'm kind of interested to hear what y'all going to say.
Except one, bro. Except one.
Yeah. Who? What? Chicago?
Chicago. Yes. There was one shitty kicker away from being great. No, seriously. You keep the motherfucker.
Talk your shit, man.
11 times in the same season. He had to operate 11 times last year. 11 times. I feel like Big T right now. 11 times. 11 times. You feel me? 11 times. That's and honestly, they still got the best defensive player in football, arguably the best player in football ever than Arizona and Khalil Mack. He ain't going nowhere. The offense is pretty decent. Mr. Trubisky proved himself. He could be a franchise quarterback. I think they're still going to be pretty good. I don't see them going 12-4 like last year, but they're still going to be pretty great. I'll go ahead and start it off.
Go ahead. All right, so what's your order?
I mean, number 4, I mean, come on. Let's be honest. They're cursed. They had 2 players in their primes, all-time greats, lead that franchise because they've been so sorry for so fucking long. And Detroit Lions will underachieve again, and Matt Stafford will steal the church's money for another year. 6-10. Mets, we got. I don't believe the hype. Never believe the hype. We finally know how terrible he is of a leader finally and how people don't want to play for him. And that just shows you something. All of the talent in the world do not achieve greatness, especially at the quarterback position. You got to have respect and you got to have humility. You know who has that? The guy that got 6 and might have 7 rings next year. And he's not it. And that's the Green Bay Packers. I got them actually going 9-7. Now, this is a sleeper team. They've been engineered for a long time. And if this dude finally get it right, who is Kirk Cousins, the Vikings should have a successful season. And also injuries. They got to stay healthy. The running back got to stay healthy. Their receivers got to stay healthy. They still have one of the best receiving corps in football. And I think the Vikings can go 10-6 and might sneak one of the wild cards. And I got Chicago winning the division. 12-4, 11-5, how you slice it. I just think that defense is pretty much reaching a new era of greatness. They're going to be good for a long time, as long as Khalil stay healthy. And pretty much that's how I got it. Because all the Bears need is a decent damn kicker. The sky's the limit.
Okay. All right. So, all right, let's talk about it. First off, I think we both agree with number 4 and number 3 easily. Lions will be 4th in the division. Number 3, the Packers, to me, will not have a winning record this season. They will go 7-9. I don't see 9-7. I see 7-9. And mainly because, again, the jig is up on Rodgers. Is he a good quarterback? Yes. But I don't even have him over Brett Favre. And if any Packers fan does, please call the show at 914-205-5432 and please explain why. Because to me, when we talk about Iron Man and somebody who was selfless and laid it all on the line each game, it was definitely Brett Favre. Now, number 2.
Hey, that's disrespectful.
You know, it is what it is. You can tell me why you disagree, and I'll tell you why I agree right after I get finished with this recap. So, number 2.
I mean, because if anything, he got something to prove. I mean, why not try to go ahead and get back to the division? Yeah.
Brett Favre had more in his career, too. He definitely had more. He had Antonio Freeman. He had.
I mean, if anything, the first week, I think the first week is going to define everything.
I disagree. I disagree.
They lost their 2 best receivers.
The first week is going to define everything, and then that way you can put it out. Because I got them going 9-7.
I disagree.
They
and the reason why I tell you the first week.
Jordy Nelson gone, Randall Cobb gone.
I know, but hold on. Let me just say this. The reason why I say I disagree with the first week is because we've seen teams make later in the season pushes. And, you know, I don't want to keep sounding redundant because I'm a fan of this team and this team I love. But you couldn't tell me the only people that foresaw the Cowboys making the run that they did towards the second half of the season after the trade deadline and even getting to the divisional round was Cowboys fans. When you watch ESPN, Fox Sports, everything, they counted the Dallas Cowboys out. Dak can't get it done. Ezekiel Elliott is their only shot. He has to be this.
All right,
he
so
has
you're
to
using
be
this
that.
for example, right? You're using this for example?
Yeah. Because it can't be the first week. The first week.
I don't know.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying. I'm using it as an example because even our first week versus the New York Giants, we didn't have a great display. Like, we didn't. And even that year, I don't base anything off of week one. What I look at is after the trade deadline. Because even the Washington Redskins got off to what? What were they, 4-2 or 5-2? And then the injuries started happening. Yeah, 6-2. And then the injuries started happening, and then we saw what happened afterwards. It was a wrap. So I can't base anything off of week one. To me, and if you ask anybody who's actually a betting man on the regular, the first few weeks is actually when you can make a lot of money in the season because the odds are so weird and crazy that the craziest shit happens. You'll get teams like the Arizona Cardinals will upset the LA Rams because of somebody, you know, playing out of position or getting used to the system that they're in. So week one won't tell me all I need to know. I'm telling everyone right now, based off of the Aaron Rodgers that I've seen for the last couple of seasons, that he's not it. Yes, he's flashy. He makes the great Hail Mary pass. You know, he can run around, you know, make the sideline pass that makes everybody go, oh, and it's on SportsCenter later on, and they put it in their top 10. But as far as somebody who knows how to rally the team and get it done, I'm sorry, he's just not it.
Well, question.
And I would take these. Go ahead.
I mean, I don't know. He got new coaching.
Can't put all the blame on Aaron, too. A lot of it got to go towards the GM and Ted Thompson. He's did a horrible job sustaining something he can actually work with. Like I mentioned before, he lost his two top receivers in the offseason. He didn't even get help. He lost help. Randall Cobb played for us, bro. Jordy Nelson played for the Raiders.
Can I ask you something? Is there a guy there not by the name of Devontae Adams? Because he definitely had a better season. Okay, but Devontae, even not healthy, still had a better season than Cobb last season. He did. You can look up the stats right now. I give you time while I continue my point.
How many games? How many games Cobb played last year? How many games Cobb? I know you had a better season. How many games Cobb played last year?
I know it wasn't all 16 because he had some injuries.
Exactly. I mean, I can't put 100% of the blame on Aaron Rodgers. Yes, he showed us the most because of the potential of greatness everyone's saying he has, but Ted Thompson got to take a big part of the blame because he ain't do diddly squat shit on defense, and he keep taking away from the offense. He don't even. He's still on running back by committee. It's been like 4 years. He's still on running back by committee. Ryan Grant been gone a long time ago.
Here's the thing.
And they ain't even replaced Ryan Grant yet.
I'll give you that. They do need to find Aaron some type of running game, and that's one of the issues. But also, so here's the thing. I'll probably give it for the GM probably about 30%, and then the other 70% to me is on Aaron and Mike McCarthy, however you want to slice it.
All right, that's fine. But the GM can't get none of the blame. Part of it is on the GM.
Not.
And then, honestly, big part of the blame is the mass media out here calling him the greatest. What has he done that ever warranted the greatest? Yes, he had that one Super Bowl appearance and that one Super Bowl win. But you got to remember, he had a pretty decent defense, and B.J. Raji was a top 5 defensive tackle at the time. So it's like the media is a huge part to blame for this as well by boosting him, hyping him, giving him all these hype jobs. Oh, let's compare him to Tom Brady.
Of course.
Oh, he's the most talented. Oh, he's a bad man. Nah, bro.
Yeah.
He got to prove that shit.
Here's one of the issues that I have as well. They hype Randall Cobb as well. And the reason why I'm going to tell you that is because the only season that Randall Cobb was actually over 1,000 yards was in 2014 when they were on their way. Yeah, when they were on their way to the Super Bowl. Other than that, he's been exactly what he is. Yeah, he's been exactly what he is on the Dallas Cowboys right now, which is at best a slot receiver. Yeah, or maybe a number 2 when the number 2 guy goes down. But he is not a number 1 receiver.
And that's another blame on Thompson, and that's another strike against Ted Thompson. I mean, because you see the talent. I mean, his talent do zoom off the screen as far as passing ability. And honestly, one thing as well, I know is vulnerable and he has that position, but sometimes, man, he throws the ball away a little too much for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think him and Ben is by far the most in the league as far as throwing the ball away, I believe.
Oh, of course.
He throws the ball away a lot. Yeah,
that's true. But let me go ahead and finish.
Yeah, go ahead and finish.
But let me finish.
Let me
finish.
Mm-hmm.
So number 2, actually in the NFC North, actually have the Chicago Bears. I like Mitchell Trubisky, but do I believe that he has the potential to be an elite quarterback? No. I think he's a good quarterback, but I don't think he's ever going to meet that elite status. That's just me. Number 1 to me is the Minnesota Vikings, which 2 seasons ago they were playing in an NFC Championship game with Case Keenum. To me, Kirk Cousins is better than Case Keenum, but I'm going to double down on my bet because I picked the Vikings to win this division last year, and they didn't. But I'm going to double down on them this year because this is the year that Kirk can show us that he's worth the money that he's asking. I get it. That first year, you might have needed time to adjust in the system, but like you said earlier, Mr. Jones, they have one of the best receiving corps in the league. I'm going to say they're probably top 3 at the most. I mean, at the least top 5, but they're top 3. When you talk about Adam Thielen and what he was able to do, Stephon Diggs, and even the tight end that they have in Randolph. So if Kirk can't get it done this year, I'm done. I'm out on this team. If he cannot win the division this year, I'm done with Kirk Cousins and I'm done with defending him. Redskins fans can trash him as much as they want.
It's always a curse just coming from Redskins fans. I mean, any player that we usually give up, they usually have a great or okay year to the team that they first go to, and then after then, nobody knows them. I disagree with the whole thing, but I'm going to let it go on. I'll chime in later because, I mean, Cousins can't even perform in, like, an outside stadium, like, and then he's in Minnesota at that. So it's like he's going to be average at best, but we'll see.
And here's the thing, though. I get what you're saying, but the reason why I say that is being on the East Coast, being where I was living, in the Philly area, and when I was going back home and everything in Maryland and them broadcasting a lot of the Redskins games, there would be games where you all were down by 25, where
bring y'all back.
People were basically, and he would bring y'all back. Like, he has the mentality of he wants to win. It's just, to me, as a quarterback, you can't put your team in the position to be down by 20 and 25. You can't make those mistakes and then try to correct them.
I think those mistakes that he was coming back from were probably in stadiums. something with closure or fair weather. There was never like a game that he came back from that was in extreme weather. Like when it's raining, he has the worst games ever. I don't know if it was on him. I can't really put the blame on him. I probably put it on our receivers at the time, but they couldn't catch the ball worth anything. So I think he has to make that happen for him first before anything, and especially going to this new team. Like, I'm not saying that he don't have the fire in him, but it's just, I mean, he don't perform well without great conditions.
So what's the records you giving each team in this division, MC? So we can wrap it up and get to the next one.
All right, so I am giving the Vikings 12-4. I am giving the Chicago Bears 10-6. I am giving the Green Bay Packers 7-9, and I'm giving the Detroit Lions 5-11.